Welcome to Just Break Up, the podcast about love, heartbreak, and all the relationship advice you don't want to hear. My name is Sierra DeMulder.
And I'm Sam Blackwell, and today we're going to answer a letter from somebody who wants her boyfriend to propose in a more romantic way. But before we begin, we just want to give you our Surgeon General's warning, which is that Sierra and I are not licensed mental health practitioners.
No, we are not professionals. We are not trained in any of this, so please take our advice as you see fit. We're only here to offer our humble musings to hopefully shed some understanding and maybe some laughs about the incredibly rewarding, but mostly confusing experience that is love. Also, trigger warning out there, this letter contains references to Lord of the Rings, so Sam is going to be very excited.
I am.
This letter has a real trigger warning.
It does have a real one. I thought you were going to say the real one, and I was like, oh,
No.
Lord of the Rings, got it.
We were just talking about how much we love the title and the whatever.
I love it. Okay. Content warning for this letter, this one's real, is that it does talk about pregnancy loss. All right, so this letter is from Engagement Ring of Power, whose pronouns are they, she, who is writing from Relationship Escalator Hell. Dear Sam, Sierra, Spencer, and all the amazing people who make this podcast happen. It's just the three of us.
It's just us.
Like there's no other people.
But I love that it appears to be a larger operation.
Yeah, we're so
three
smooth.
Idiots.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, we got a staff, you know. I, 25, they, she, and my partner, 29, he, him, have a very unconventional relationship timeline. We were best friends for over a year after meeting at a Halloween party, typical. But at the time, I was in a very toxic, highly emotionally abusive relationship where I tried unsuccessfully to leave over 6 times before finally having my friends take back their apartment keys so I could be free. The whole time, my current partner, let's call him Brendan, was by my side as an amazing friend the whole time. He made it clear throughout our friendship that he wanted more, and I felt the same way in my past relationship. We ended up hooking up the very night I broke up with my ex, continued seeing each other until we became exclusive only 2 months later, and have been together ever since. After we had only been together as a monogamous couple for 3 months, I got pregnant for the first time. We talked about it and decided to pursue a crazy unconventional path to parenthood as a newer couple. This experience really escalated our relationship. We started moving my things in after only 5 months of dating and started talking about the big M, marriage. We went through the worst month of our lives when we went in for our 12-week appointment to learn we had lost our precious pregnancy. However, this awful month made us so much stronger. We kept moving my things in until officially we moved in together, and we are now 8 months pregnant again without trying, and have been together for a year and a half. Now, on to the part that makes me feel psychotic. Brendan is perfect for me, or as perfect as a person who is complicated and real can be. He is caring, kind, handsome, hilarious, so supportive of myself, my career, and my queerness. My friends adore him, our families are friends, and we have the most wonderful life together as we prepare to welcome Bean into the world in just a few short weeks. However, Brendan and I have been talking about getting legally married, and I didn't think that I cared about marriage at all until we started talking about it seriously. For context, Brendan proposed to the girlfriend he was with before me. They had been together for 5 years, and he flew her out to Puerto Rico to get engaged on a beach in the moonlight. It was then he learned that she was cheating on him. Shortly after the trip, they broke up, and we met. I know Brendan has a ring because my friends told me, and I found it in his sock drawer. I wasn't being nosy, but I tried it on and it is perfect. Like, I almost turned into Gollum and wanted to keep it on forever. I know he has talked to my parents and friends about proposing to me, and in my head, I thought how proposals happen didn't matter as much as why they happen, until my best friend called me and told me that all of his proposal ideas sucked. Like, ground control to major sucked. I'm talking his best one was in a hotel room in a random unspecified city that had nothing to do with our relationship. I was shocked because what he did for his ex was the literal definition of a romantic proposal. So why am I not worth that same effort? We've cared for each other as friends and partners so well. I'm carrying our baby. We're crazy about each other, and we have the exact same vision for what our future looks like. He admitted when he proposed to his ex, it was out of pressure because he felt like it was the only way to save an unhappy relationship. So why is our relationship, the quote, healthiest relationship he's ever been in, not important enough to put in more effort? He knows what I like. I've told He knows what I like. I've all but told him exactly what I would want from a proposal, and I know he has the ring. He brought it in his bag on our baby moon a few weeks ago, and I was so excited. We had the best day ever, walking around this cute town, going on a hike, and finishing the day with an amazing fancy dinner. We went back to our hotel room, and nothing. I know that marriage is just a piece of paper, and I never cared until it was a possibility with Brendan. He is so sweet and caring and treats me so well. Why do I care so much and compare our relationship to him and his exes? I hate living in the house they shared together already and tried my best to sage and redecorate to get any traces of their life together out of my mind. But this feels way bigger than just some saging. What if he changed his mind about marrying me? Sam and Sierra, why am I driving myself crazy with a potential proposal that doesn't affect the wonderful, beautiful life we've built together for us and our future son at all? Am I being swept up by the relationship escalator? Are my pregnancy hormones just making me short circuit? Thank you for reading this rambling saga, for nurturing a safe environment to write this out, and for being so open with your own lives and vulnerabilities to allow me to feel okay and having my own vulnerabilities and feelings. All the love in the world from me and my almost baby Elle. Engagement ring of power.
All right, my darling. My very uncomfortable, probably like swollen feet.
Like, oof.
Man, there comes a time in pregnancy where you're like, I don't think I can grow anymore. And then you look at your watch and you've got like 4 more fucking weeks. So, hey, I love you so much. I'm so glad you feel safe writing us. I know you've got a lot going on right now in your heart, in your head, in your body. And we're just here to like hold your hand and remind you that everything's okay and everything is going right. I think your anxiety right now is seeking out all of the places in which this could be going wrong. And I'm going to try to shift the perspective to what is going right and what is happening right in front of your face. It's just everything that's happening right now in your body and your heart and your mind might be clouding it a little. We're also going to affirm your feelings, right? Like it's okay to be anxious. It's okay to look for what's going wrong because that's kind of how we've been taught to protect ourselves. But I'm guessing while listening to this back and reflecting on your feelings a little bit more, you're going to be able to tap into a little bit more of a secure feeling when it comes to what is unfolding in your relationship right now. Because from our perspective, things are going really well. Right? Things are going really well. Goodness is on the horizon. We're going to talk more about that and give you some of our perspectives, some of our mind shifts, and affirm what's going on. But first, we're going to take a really quick break.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Yeah, I think that this anxiety that you're experiencing about this proposal, I think is understandable given, all of the different things that you talked about, right? Like your own changes in your body as you're, bringing a new life into this world, right? The fact that you're like living in the house that your partner lived in with his former partner. The details of this engagement this quote unquote perfect engagement in Puerto Rico in the moonlight and you're hearing that like that's not the same amount of effort, quote unquote effort that's going into yours. So I think like a lot of this makes sense that you're feeling this level of anxiety about it. And also proposals, marriage, the relationship escalator are just like so real, and I think that there's the idea of a proposal is like so glorified and it's like, how did you propose? It has to be perfect. There's expectations around it for sure. It means something.
Right, how
absolutely.
Big it is.
Yep. And it's an indication of how much this person loves you, right? How much time and effort they put into it. And like, I think it's important to always try and take a step off the relationship escalator and decide if we actually want the things that we are being told about what proposals mean and what relationships mean, right? And I think it's really interesting because in your letter, you say, he told me that the reason why he put all this time and effort into this relationship or into this proposal for his previous partner was because their relationship was so unhealthy. And he felt like he had to make some sort of like big splash in order to save it. And then you say, so why is he also not putting that same amount of effort into our relationship? And it was interesting because like you said that first piece, and then you and I just went in really divergent ways with like the second half of that sentence where I was like, oh, so how wonderful, because my thought was how wonderful that he doesn't have to feel that amount of pressure to save a failing relationship, that he has to like come up with this like crazy, amazing romantic proposal and can instead just propose to me in a way that feels good for him, right? Or in a way that feels authentic to our very real relationship and not like a fake relationship that we're trying to piece together over the course of 5 years, even though this person is cheating on me. And so I'm like, it's curious that you went to a place that was like, so why isn't he doing the same amount of effort? Because like, I totally understand that that's like where you would go, but there's a different way to look at that situation. And instead of saying, why isn't he taking me to Puerto Rico in the moonlight? And saying to yourself, I'm so glad that he doesn't feel pressured to do this because our relationship is so much stronger. Our relationship is so much healthier. He doesn't need to prove his love to me with some sort of big romantic gesture because he's proving it to me in the way that he's caring for me throughout our pregnancy, right? In the way that he's inviting me into his home and supporting me. Absolutely. Right. In the way that he saw me through my terrible breakup with that abusive person and was there for me every step of the way as I tried to heal from that and figure out what comes next for us. Right. Like, I want to make sure that as you are thinking about this proposal, you're not letting it outweigh all of the ways that like real true relationship and not codependence and interdependence and care for each other actually occurs in the day-to-day, in the way that he's showing up for you, and that he doesn't need some sort of like big giant proposal because you have the foundation there already to prove that that love is there. He doesn't need to prove it by doing something that doesn't feel authentic to him or that he feels pressured to do.
Yeah. Also, you're not technically supposed to fly after 36 weeks pregnant, so maybe that's not why you're... I don't know. I want to like just add on to this conversation and just lovingly remind you about, you say the literal definition of the most romantic proposal could be this flight out of town to a place that's unfamiliar in the dark, moonlight, yada, yada, yada. Here's the gentle reminder that everybody has different levels, different love languages, different approaches to romance. What somebody might love the Jumbotron proposal in public, and somebody also might love proposing over dinner in your own damn kitchen. Do you know what I mean? And so you are assigning, I think it's I think it's relationship escalator adjacent. The idea of like the bigger and flashier the proposal, the more effort, the more extravagant, the more romantic it is. And that's not true necessarily. I know why you're feeling this way. I think I have felt similar lines of thought in the past of like, why isn't this person showing me their love in this way? Why have they tried harder in the past and they're not trying in the same way for me? I'm not disparaging the fact that your mind went there. I'm trying to redirect it right now. It's not bad that you're here. It's, but you're recognizing that what I'm seeing and what I want to pass to you is that this thought process is only gonna hurt you, unfortunately. If you want more effort from your future husband, then I want that effort to be, I want you to be showing up more in our relationship. I need you to support me more. I need you to affirm my feelings. I need you to do romantic things to me. And then if it's things like do more romantic acts, I need you to be really specific. I want more flowers. I want more blah, 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 because everybody has a different level of romance or a definition of romance. And guess what? And again, I don't mean any of this disparagingly. This is just my honest to God truth. I was pumped to get engaged. I loved my proposal. It was special and unique, low budget, but really special to me. I don't think about that proposal, especially as a partner, as a co-parent with my partner. I don't think about that proposal. I think about the proposal like once a year. Do you know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
do you know how fleeting this huge, grand, romantic gesture will be? And that is not to say it's not important. Like, it is so important. But when you say I want more effort from him, I'm looking at this letter of effort, this proof of love, right? One of my favorite quotes is, there is no love, only proofs of love, right? Show me where the proof of love is in this relationship. He wants you to keep the baby. He wants to build a family with you. And that is a lifelong bond. That is, to me, that's bigger than any fucking plane ticket to any place in the world. Lifelong bond right there. So show me the proofs of his love. Not to say you are not worthy of that ticket to Puerto Rico. Not that you're not worthy of 1,000 roses, right? But our perception of romance has definitely been shaped and catered to by popular culture, rom-coms, reality TV shows where they have budgets to fly people places, right? You know, that trip out of the country to propose, or I can't remember where, Puerto Rico?
Yeah, so in the country.
Yes, in the country. The trip out of your state, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know, that costs, that was probably $1,000 right there, I'm guessing. Flights, hotel, dinner, fucking
Moonlight?
whatever. I don't know.
He had to pay those violinists.
Moonlight? Yeah. You know, your priorities are shifting. You're not going to have the same needs and desires. You're going to have totally different needs and desires in just 1 month. So I want to hug you. I want to take a deep breath with you. I want to rub your swollen fucking feet. And just, I don't want you to be being proposed to in the next couple months or weeks or years or whatever. And I don't want you to be scoring the proposal more than you are appreciating the moment. You are worthy of everything that you desire. And we don't always get all of that because life is, building off of the theme from the first letter on Monday, sometimes life just is what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm reading this letter and I'm seeing all of these proofs of love, proofs of commitment, proofs of romance in the way that I perceive romance right now as a parent, as a co-parent, as a partner of somebody who is building this lifelong promise with me every day, not just the day of the proposal. Do you know what I mean? Don't get lost in the weeds of it. Do you know what I mean? It's relationship escalator adjacent. Do you know what I mean? That your wedding has to be so big in order to be romantic. That you got to blow a ton of money on this one day of your marriage. You know what I mean? One day of, not that it isn't important. It is important. It is important. It is important. And also, it's just a day.
Well, and I also like to go along with what Sierra was saying about like, how is he showing up for you? And the idea that there's like differences in how people want to show and affirm each other's love. And, you say in your letter, right? Like he said that he didn't want to propose the way that he proposed last time, right? Like he felt pressured to do it. And he doesn't, that's not the way he wants to do it. It felt like it was not meaningful to him. And you say in your letter also that you know that he knows what you like, but I'm curious about do you know what he wants out of a proposal, right? Do you know what's going to be meaningful for him in his proposal to you, right? And this is the time when we can, right? This is like Sierra said, this is relationship escalator adjacent, where we're assuming things about like a universal definition of something, right? The best proposals are the ones that are the biggest, are the showiest, have the most moonlight, right? And this is an opportunity for you to take a step back from that escalator and say to yourself, okay, what I actually know to be true is that there's lots of different ways that people can express their love to each other, right? There's not just one. There's not just Puerto Rico and the moonlight. So where can I get curious about what's meaningful for me, which might be like a big show? Okay, cool. That's fine. But there's two people that are involved in this proposal and this relationship. And this is going to be a big day for two people, not just you. So that I would encourage you to start getting curious about what would a meaningful proposal look like for him, right? What are the reasons why he might not be thinking about Puerto Rico on the moonlight and instead is thinking about, let's go to our favorite restaurant for dinner and propose, or let's go for a walk in the park and propose. What are the things that he's trying to tell you with the types of proposals that he's planning? And practice some curiosity there, right? Because you're both right. And that's the issue with all of this shit that we always talk about, right? Both of you are right. Both of those things are romantic. It's just that they're romantic in different ways. You're interpreting the romanticism differently. And so part of being in relationship with people is recognizing that those differences are going to come up, and that part of the way that we can show up and be in relationship with people is practicing that curiosity and saying like, okay, he doesn't think that like a big, giant, romantic, quote unquote, romantic proposal is meaningful. He told me that. So what would be meaningful for him? And can I find the meaning in how he proposes, right? Can I see the way that he's caring and showing me love and showing me romance by doing things in the way that he's doing them, right? Instead of just assuming he's not putting the effort into it, because I don't know that that's true. And you don't know that that's true, my love. You're going to have a conversation with him about this and figure out what this looks like for both of you, and not just assume that he's trying to tell you something based on the way that he's proposing when that might actually not be true.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, your life is going to change a lot in the next month, in the next 6 months, in the next couple of years. And I'm so excited for you. I believe in your ability to grow with the change, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. Also, happy pre-engagement and happy pre-baby. We love you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for writing. We hope this helps.
We hope this helps.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like more content from us, or if you would like office hours or access to our monthly office hours, you can support us on Patreon. If you support us on Patreon for as little as $5 a month, you'll get access to those monthly office hours, which is when we set up a Zoom call and folks can hop on whenever they want to. And we just kind of have a great conversation, answer questions in real time. It's super, super fun. So if you haven't been to one yet, just pay the $5 for 1 month. Try it out, because it is awesome and people really like them. Our next one, I believe, is in November. So it's going to be on November 24th at 1 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. That's patreon.com/justbreakuppod.
You can slide into our DMs, send us your favorite relationship memes, but most importantly, you can submit your questions about all matters of the heart at justbreakuppod.com, which is also where you can get our merchandise.
Please remember to like, follow, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating and review. This literally keeps our mics on and helps us reach more brokenhearted souls who need 2 random strangers giving them relationship advice.
Just Break Up is a production of Duvid Media, original music recording, editing, producing, all magical things by our good friend Spencer Worth Davis. Make sure to check out his podcast and his music. And remember, in order to stay fully present in your relationship and not swept away by the pressures and expectations of the relationship escalator and everything that we've learned subconsciously through culture and pop culture and the media and rom-coms about relationships, we have to listen to ourselves, listen to our hearts, what's really happening in front of us, where are the proofs of our love, and we have to listen to our partners. What is the proof of their love? How do they want to show up? How are they telling you that they love you? And if all else fails,
just break up.